We hope you enjoyed today's presentation. Phil, take it away.
Thank you, and good afternoon, everybody. Thanks very much for taking some time out of your afternoon to sit with us and learn a little bit about free versus fee loyalty programs and how they could be a fit for your organization. So looking forward to diving into the information, and this is a interactive session, so feel free to ask any questions, or I'll ask some questions and you put up your hands and respond when the time's right there. But I appreciate you calling in, and real quickly wanted to give a real brief overview of who InteQ is. We're a group of about 120 folks located outside of Chicago, Illinois. We've been around for 20 years helping national brands, retailers, financial institutions, and health organizations deepen the relationships between themselves and their customers. And at our essence, we're loyalty architects, CRM strategists, and customer love creators. I won't dive too much into customer love on this call. That's a proprietary algorithm that we've developed or in the process of deploying with our retail clients that helps them understand the amount of love that their customers have for their brand. InteQ primarily has 3 lines of business that we partner with our clients on. The first are loyalty programs. These are point-based proven programs. So a typical program is spend $1, get a point. Those programs work wonders for brands that have high frequency customers, where the merchandise mix lends itself to this type of a program. Certain retailers, though, think of a mattress retailer where they're selling their product maybe once every 7 or 8 years. For them, we have CRM initiatives, which are deep segmentation of customer data, where we try to put behavior and all the customers into similar buckets of cohorts, maybe 7, 10 of those, and then develop engagement strategies for each one of those. So if a customer is shopping you once a year, they are receiving a vastly different messaging and triggers than those customers that are shopping you once every single month. Last thing that we work on, which is why we're here today, are what we term value-add programs, but these are premium loyalty constructs for our clients, where we curate a suite of benefits and savings, some that are taken from the client and some that we provide. We have over 300 on the shelf that we can pick and pack from. We develop a customized solution for that brand. They charge their customers an annual fee for access to those savings and benefits, and we split the revenue with the client. So it becomes a high margin revenue generator for them while also driving deeper customer engagement. So what we're going to try to impress upon everybody this afternoon is get a couple questions answered, hopefully. What is premium loyalty? How can you as a brand decide between free or fee-based loyalty programs? I think Hamlet said to fee or not to fee or something like that. Sorry. The next one is, will customers actually pay for loyalty? That's, when I'm talking to brands and clients, that's really the biggest question they have is, will my customers actually put some skin in the game and pay for loyalty to keep, to drive deeper engagement with my brand? And what we're seeing is a resounding yes on that. Are there risks involved with free loyalty programs? We're going to touch upon that. Who's doing premium loyalty well? There's certain brands out there that are doing it exceptionally well. And then lastly, really, is premium loyalty right for you? And then we have some calculators on our website where you can go input your number of transactions or your store count, and we can show you the amount of revenue that a premium loyalty program could be driving to your bottom line. So why are brands instituting premium loyalty programs? It's primarily for points of differentiation. There's a lot of noise out there in the consumer space. U.S. consumers receive 22 billion texts a day, 269 billion emails a day, and 500 million tweets a day. So, how do you, as a brand, rise above that noise that is constantly bombarding your customers? So really what this is about is trying to underscore the fact that brands need to develop and execute strategies that engage their best customers and provide a point of differentiation in an ever increasingly crowded and loud space. I think all of us as consumers know that we all are inundated with brands for our business. And as consumers, we've become immune to offers and incentives. There are, many paid tier programs out there that are working well, and some that are not. So we're going to dive into those. But really, consumers have become immune to typical loyalty, free loyalty offers, and looking for ways to drive points of differentiation for you and your brands. Points-based programs, loyalty retail programs have been around since the 1800s. Think of S&H green stamps from the late 1800s. And actually, before that, 1700s, there were tokens that were given out to customers of certain merchants. So loyalty programs have been around a long, long time. And what we're seeing from consumers and brands is the need for some change. As I mentioned, typically loyalty programs are you sign up, you get a card, and you get some points. Most of us, as you can see on the right-hand side of the screen, we have close to 30 different loyalty programs that we belong to. Can you see a show of hands to how many people belong to at least 15 loyalty programs? All right, seeing some good response. So I think all of us recognize that we belong to multiple programs, and as we belong to multiple programs, really the question from a brand standpoint should be, is if your consumers belong to multiple loyalty programs, how can they be loyal to your brand? How can your brand stand up and above the crowd, the noise and the crowd that's vying for your customers' attention on a daily, if not hourly basis? A great example of a premium loyalty program, just to set a baseline of what we're talking about when I'm talking about either fee-based, VIP, or premium loyalty, those are all synonymous, is Amazon Prime. That's pretty much the 800-pound gorilla in the space. The 100 million pound gorilla, if you're looking at their current membership, they passed the 100 million mark. And what's staggering about that is that I think they did that in April of 2018. Last year at this time, they had 80 million members. 2 years before that, in March of 15, they had 40 million. So you can see just an exponential growth of the Prime program. Even though they're increasing the price point, they just increased it to $120 this year. But you see some phenomenal attributes and metrics that Prime members exhibit. Down here in the purple portion, where an Amazon customer spends on average $1,300 a year, versus $700 for non-Prime members. And that's exactly what InteQ sees with our premium clients. Their premium customers spend 3 to 4x of what a non-premium customer spends. So exactly what Amazon is seeing online, we see in brick and mortar retail. And again, with Amazon Prime, 85% of the Amazon Prime members had made purchases versus 51% of non-members. So again, just underscoring the prevalence of that program. Another premium program that some folks don't put in the loyalty category, but I do, are warehouse clubs. As an example, Costco, 107% of their net profit was attributable to their membership fees. So again, being able to find a suite of benefits and a positioning that you can take to your customers as a brand that resonates, and you have the right set of benefits and you have the right price point, it can work wonders for your bottom line. So again, on free versus fee, what are some of the differences that we see when you stack them side by side? A free program admits any customer. They're not really putting too much skin in the game. They're usually giving you an email address at most. They're easier. A free program is easier to promote from an associate standpoint because you're not asking for any dollars from the customer at the register at that time. There's also some flexibility with free programs, but again, with a free program, especially if it's a points-based program, because points have a future value, as most everybody on this call knows, there is a future liability that the retailer needs to carry to cover that cost at a future time. So there are some intricacies involved with a free program. When you look at a fee-based program on the right-hand side, it does require an upfront fee to join. And what that does is that qualifies your customer right off the bat. They're putting up their hands, they're self-identifying at your register or online and saying, you know what, I see so much value in you as a brand and what you mean to me in my life that I'm willing to pay an annual or monthly fee for extra benefits and savings from you. So the second bullet point says it attracts the most committed customers, and we definitely see that with our programs. What's really interesting with our programs, what we're seeing is that about 80% of the customers that are enrolling in our premium programs are coming from the top decile, so it's the brand's best customers, but that other 20% was never in their free loyalty database. So those are new customers. They didn't have a loyalty relationship before on the free side, but that 20% of customers saw the value of the suite of benefits that we're offering, that they're willing to pay an annual fee for that. So some fundamental differences, some bigger than others, but the great news is they can both coexist in the same environment. And what we really see is summed up here by our CMO, which is what we hear from a lot of our clients and from their customers, is that their customers are willing to pay for access to premium benefits as long as your brand messaging and those benefits matter to the customer. And so that's really where you need to partner with a premium loyalty provider that can do a deep dive into your customer data. If all your premium loyalty provider is doing is cobbling together some network savings, some discounts, movies, some discount dining programs, and it's not really looking at your customer data, they're only doing half their job. This is about understanding your customers, understanding their trigger points, and to do that, you really need to dig into your customer data. And what we see, staying with that theme in terms of understanding your customers and your customer data, when InteQ builds a program, what we do is we survey our clients' customers to understand what types of benefits they like, would they pay for a premium loyalty program, what type of price point would they see important for them or that would make them enroll in a program. So there's some examples of some proprietary research we've done. This is in advance to sitting down with a client. So this is to get an understanding of what their customers look like so that we can develop a program that resonates the most with their customer base and that, quite frankly, is attractive to those customers. And what we see is that customers, yes, they are going to pay for loyalty. They put up their hand frequently to enroll in the program. And what we really see for those folks that are looking out and looking at their millennial and Gen Y and Gen Z customers is we see that the younger customer base responds to subscription offers astoundingly well. And again, you can see it on this slide where 77% of those consumers 25 to 34 would be happy to pay for a loyalty program. And just as importantly is that 80% in that age group would be willing to pay if the rewards offered fit their needs. So again, this comes back to understanding your customer, knowing what motivates them, what excites them, what draws them to your brand. And most brands, when they start to dip their toe into the loyalty waters, the first thing they want to talk about are free loyalty programs, because that's the predominant loyalty programs out in the marketplace. Actually, 97% of loyalty programs currently are based on spending money to earn money. So they're really not free. They're not free to your customers. And that's one thing as a brand that we try to help our clients understand is that they're actually already charging for loyalty in these free programs. You're making your customers spend $400 or $500 before they get a $20 gift card certificate. And what we can do with a premium loyalty program is that we can accelerate those benefits because there's more dollars on the table from the membership fees that are being paid, so that your customers are realizing benefits sooner, and they're realizing the rewards sooner, which means they're coming back to your stores more frequently. So there is risk to free. And again, I mentioned some of the liability concerns and questions, and again, we can help guide you through those decisions. But what we've really seen is that with the free loyalty program is that if it's not developed or designed correctly, it can really cause some issues. Starbucks went through a redesign about a year and a half ago, where they had come out initially with too rich of a program, and they did an analysis and they said, whoops, we need to change things. When they changed things, they had a fair amount of customers that were not happy with them. There were some PR issues they needed to fix. So it's really about developing that free loyalty program based on customer data, so that you know where the breakpoints are and how to arrive at a good ROI. That you really need to line up before you start looking at a free loyalty program. And really what free loyalty programs have been doing is they've been training us as consumers, and I'm sure everybody that's in the retail space has been reading about this, but it's really it's training your consumers to shop discounts, and they expect discounts. Show of hands, how many people out there expect a 20% discount from Bed Bath & Beyond when they shop there, because they always get those coupons in the mail. And exactly, and so we're seeing again a high response rate, and this is part of the reason that Bed Bath & Beyond is changing that program. They have a premium loyalty program that they have in place because the coupons were getting too expensive for them. And every time as a customer, whenever I went into Bed Bath & Beyond, I expected that $100 price point to only be $80. And so really what the free loyalty programs do is it eats into your margin. It can eat into your margin if they're not developed correctly. And it can really drive the behavior that you're not looking for at the end of the day. And in terms of looking at behavior, who's doing the right types of premium loyalty design, we want to take a few seconds to dig into those. Restoration Hardware, if everybody's familiar with their stores, a higher end demographic. I think their household income index is at about $335,000 per year. It's a very high end home goods store where at the end of 2015, they were slammed. They're a publicly traded company. They were slammed by Wall Street. They had excess inventory on hand, and they needed to do something quickly. And so what they developed was the RH card, which gives customers 25% off anything, anytime. There's some other ancillary experiential benefits, which are very important in terms of some design help and some other interior decorating type of guidance. But at the end of the day, Restoration Hardware at the end of 15 had an issue. Their stock fell 23% on fourth quarter results because they had too much stuff sitting in the warehouse. They said, how can we get rid of this? They developed the gray card, which said, whatever it is, we're going to knock 25% off so we can move it out. And it's been a phenomenal success for them because, A, it's made their customers very happy. It's driving traffic back to their stores, and it's keeping Wall Street happy because their inventory, the inventory surplus has diminished. So again, premium loyalty can do a lot of things when it's created and crafted the right way. It can drive a lot of different business objectives and behaviors, but it really comes down to putting the framework and understanding the data and your customers and developing a program based off of that understanding. One of the programs that we've launched recently here at Inte is the AC Moore Pinwheel VIP program. If you're familiar with AC Moore, they're a chain of about 140 large format craft stores, primarily based here on the East Coast. About 25 to 35,000 square feet average size store, so a big footprint. They have about 5 to 7 registers per location. They do a tremendous velocity of transactions at the front end. They had the Pinwheel Rewards program, which was their free rewards program. We started talking to them, and they said, well, we want to try to figure out how to identify our best customers. So we're not really interested in the free loyalty. We're not really interested in the premium loyalty thing you're talking about, because we want to identify our best customers. So we think, we have to go a different way. What they came to understand is that the premium loyalty program, echoing off of what I said earlier, is about allowing your best customers to put their hands up and self-identify and say that I love you so much as a brand, and I want to shop you so much as a brand that I'm willing to pay an annual or monthly fee for this premium loyalty program. So for AC Moore, as an example, their program is $39.99 a year. It's a skewed item. There's no credit card data or that doesn't pass back and forth for continuous service billing. It's a one-time charge. The customers receive an array of benefits. It's a mix of AC Moore provided benefits and Inte provided benefits. Some examples: the AC Moore is funding 25% off that customers purchase in store that day when they enroll for the program. So it's a great incentive, a great premium to get people to enroll in the program. And then they're also funding a continual 5% off your purchases as a customer when you're a member. Inte on the flip side, we are providing $120 in craft class rebates no matter where you go. So if you go to a community college for pottery, or you go to AC Moore for knitting classes, whatever the case may be, you submit your receipt and the customer receives money back. There's also rebates and savings on family fun benefits in terms of mini golf, bowling, things. The AC Moore customer is a female shopper, 35 to 60, children in the home. So once we know all of this data, we can build a program around who she is, what her interests are, and drive that behavior back to the store. This program, as you can see by Anthony's quote, it helps differentiate their brand and enhances the customer experience. We launched this in February of this year. It's been a great success. We're really happy with it. AC Moore obviously is very happy with it. And again, it's about developing the program and the benefits so they resonate with your customers and drive the behavior you're looking for. GameStop, another great example of a premium loyalty program done well on a couple different levels. This actually, a lot of people think of this is a loyalty program, but what a lot of folks don't understand is that $14.99 that the customer's paying, that pays for the Game Informer magazine. And so when you sign up for the Power Up rewards, you're actually subscribing to the magazine, and then you're getting these other benefits as an upside. So what that allows GameStop to do is to count those Game Informer subscriptions as paid subscribers, so they can sell advertising space in that magazine. So they're making revenue from a couple of different streams. They're making revenue from Game Informer magazine, which, oh, by the way, has a larger subscription base than People magazine. It's the largest consumer distributed magazine in the country. So they're making revenue from that. Plus, they're making revenue from the $14.99 annual fee that's charged, as well as margin from the trade-ins and the new purchases that it drives. Game Trade, if you're familiar with it, that's the highest margin they have in the store. It's about 60 to 70% play for them. And again, why a lot of their benefits are about trading in used games for new games, et cetera, because they can resell those used games and make a higher margin. So again, just like Restoration Hardware, they had a business issue. We have a whole bunch of stuff in our warehouse. What do? GameStop, same type of thing. We want to drive more higher margin items, used games that we can buy back from our customers so we can sell them at a higher profit. So they developed this program. It's been going for I want to say about 10, 12 years now, pretty successfully. And again, anytime that your magazine is outselling People magazine, it's probably pretty good and says quite a bit about your efforts in the store. So really, are premium loyalty programs right for you? We'd like to think they are. What we're seeing out in the marketplace from brands and from consumers is an overwhelming acceptance of a premium loyalty offer that takes the brand's benefits and look and feel and extends that to the customers as a way of driving deeper engagement, repeat purchase behavior, higher margin ticket items, etc. So premium loyalty really is a blank slate as far as we look at it, where we collaborate with our clients, we identify business issues, business challenges, and then we configure a program based on their customer demographics, their customer data, their business needs and requirements, what they're trying to achieve in this year and next year, and then we design the program around that. So I think, let me see here, and in terms of how, what can premium loyalty do for you as a business, we have on our website, and I think they can click on their screen now if you'd like, by number of store, by customer count, by yearly website visits if you're online retailer. But any one of those, you can plug in your data. It'll tell you what type of revenue an annual premium loyalty program will generate, as well as the amount of revenue that's lost since January 1 to date by not having a program in place. And so with that, I think I'll open it up if there's any questions or any additional points that we could cover here. I'd be happy to address those for you.
If you're logging off now, due to time constraints, we'd like to thank you for joining us today. Be on the lookout for an email that includes today's presentation slides and a recording of the webinar. So let's go ahead and answer a few questions from our audience. Looks like we have quite a few. The first question we'll take is from Michelle. She's asking, how have premium loyalty memberships you've implemented been received at the store level, and how do you get store managers willing to sell this type of program?
That's a great question. As anyone in retail can understand and appreciate, you're going to hear from your store ops people when you ask them for the store associates to stop the trade, the checkout process, present a loyalty offer, and so what we do see is that in terms of it being received well at store, it comes down to the program design. Do the benefits and the value proposition make sense for the customers? From a store execution standpoint, InteQ has a full training staff on hand, as I'd recommend anyone that you are talking to, any other premium loyalty providers, that the training staff helps implement the program. They help engender support at the associate level. We run incentive programs, usually pizza parties for stores, anything and everything we can do to raise awareness of the programs, raise the excitement level of the program. You as a retailer, if you have, most retailers have quarterly or annual sales events where they bring in store managers and associates. We love to have a presence there, again, talking about the value of the program, why it makes sense for them as associates, why it makes sense for their customers. Because really, if your associates don't buy into this program, they won't make the offer and it won't go anywhere. So in my eyes, the associate, much more so than anyone else in the organization, is really the linchpin to any one of these programs. And all of our efforts are driven towards making sure that associate and that store manager feels comfortable with the offer, sees the value for their customers, so they make the offer.
Thanks, Bill. I'm actually going to skip to a question here from Michael because it kind of relates to that. What approach do you recommend at checkout if a retailer is going to have both a free and a paid program? Is there a conflict about which to offer?
Great question, and we actually had to address that issue with AC Moore as an example, a recent example. They have a free Pinwheel Rewards loyalty program that was already in place. They have a provider for that, and the concern was, what should my associate make? Should they make the free offer first, the VIP offer first? We don't want to disrupt the free loyalty or the paid loyalty. And so really what we found is that they feed off of each other, for lack of a better term, at the associate level. Because what it allows me to do as an associate is I can present you with the premium loyalty for, as in the case of AC Moore, we'll stick with them. I can offer you a premium loyalty for $40 per year with all these great benefits and savings. And when you say no, oh, no problem. We have a free program that has all these great benefits and there's no cost. So it helps to drive enrollment at both levels. And so it's really a consideration that definitely should be thought out in advance. Is, how does the free and the premium live together? With the AC Moore execution, we came in. We didn't touch the free program. That's still running. Again, with a different provider, but we have the premium loyalty program that we laid seamlessly on top of the free program. We replicated the screens for their associates that the associates use for the free program. They use the same screens for the premium program, again, so they feel comfortable and they make the offer. So it's a lot, just all those different nuances that we've learned over time to really make sure that execution at the point of sale is optimal.
Okay, thanks. We also have a question from Sarah who asks, who provides the marketing and training support for launching a premium loyalty program? Is it the store, the vendors? How does that work?
Great. So the answer to that's yes. It comes down to we see the value in providing the training and the support. We have some clients that their trainers and their store ops people feel comfortable and they have it under control, so they just want us to provide materials and maybe fund an incentive program. For other retailers where some of our regional partners, they might be from a resource standpoint spread more thin than others, so we throw our resources against that to help them with the training and the marketing and the launch. So it really comes down to each client and where they see some gaps in what they have and where we can fill those with our experience and expertise.
Okay. It looks like we have a question from Chris. He's asking, how long does it take to launch a paid loyalty program?
Well, it depends if you're asking a programmer or a sales guy, but it traditionally takes us anywhere from about 8 to 10 weeks to work through the systems, the design. We have to print materials, so there's some lag time in there. But once we have everything in place and ready to go, it's about a 60 to 90 day launch period.
Okay, thank you. Let's see. We have a question from Graham. He's asking, do you do data analytics? And if so, is there an additional cost? I'm assuming that means on this program, on the paid loyalty program.
So for premium loyalty program execution, and this is where InteQ actually stands apart from anybody else in the marketplace, because we're the only ones at this point that offer both free and premium tiers. So when we have when InteQ has a premium tier execution, we then offset our cost for analytics from some of the revenue that we're generating from those annual fees that are collected. So the short answer to your question, Graham, is that no, there's no additional cost for those analytics. If we were doing analytics for you separate from a premium tier execution, then yes, there would be analytics cost associated with that. But what we've been able to do is to offset our costs associated with our analytics and strategy components with a portion of those membership fees that we're sharing with the brand.
Thanks, Bill. I have one other question here from Bill.
Not me.
Different Bill. It says, are there certain demographic populations that respond better to a paid loyalty program? And can you stack rank them for us? So I don't know about the ranking.
That's a good question, Bill. So the short answer is that we've seen customers respond to premium loyalty, whether it's a dollar store customer, or as you saw with the Restoration Hardware store customer, you know, a $300,000 household average income, and they're buying into the RH card. So we see that the premium tier resonates well with a lot of different demographics. And again, it comes down to the loyalty build and understanding that customer and what the triggers are. So, you know, you can't take a dollar loyalty program and overlay that on Restoration Hardware and expect to see some good results. So you really need to develop and, you know, customize the benefits, the program, the pricing, the positioning based on your brand and your customer demographics. So in terms of stack ranking them, I couldn't really give you a great answer on that because we really see it kind of level setting across all different demographics. Actually, Amazon Prime's a good example of that because they have the $120 a year program, but for folks on SNAP, which is the food stamps program, and they have, I think it's a $5 a month program, so it's about half price. So and that's being responded to well. So they adjust, and they also have different price points for college students as well. So they see the programs, you know, Amazon, great example, they see the program resonating with all sorts of different customers.
Thanks, Bill. It looks like we have one final question here so far at this time. It says, can you provide insight into the type of incremental sales lift I might expect? I'm a mid-sized retailer if I were to launch a paid program.
What we are seeing from our retail execution for premium loyalty customers versus non-premium, so versus free loyalty customers, we see the premium loyalty customers spend 2 to 3x more than non-premium customers. So it goes back to that self-identification, you know, the customer self-identifying, they're putting their hand up, they're saying, yeah, I want to sign up for this, I want to enroll, and I'm going to come back to you and I'm going to spend a lot. and that's really what they're doing. So, you know, we see a tremendous lift from a premium program, not only on the incremental spend lift that the retailer realizes, but also from their share of those annual fee that we share with them. So it acts as a positive on a couple of different levels for the brand.
Okay, thanks, Bill. Well, we've answered all of our questions today, so we're going to go ahead and wrap up our presentation. We'd again like to thank everyone for joining us and let you know to look forward to receiving the email with the slides and a link to the video if you need to forward that on to anybody on your team. So we're going to disconnect now, and thank you, and have a great day.
Thank you.